right, man. Welcome back. Show 3, the 757 Field Goals podcast. You know me, Jamaar Hawkins.
Yeah, Antoine, Corbin. Glad to be back. Had, a couple people ask me what happened last week, things happen. So, but we back.
Yeah, we back.
And we ready to go. Really want to just, kick it off. Talk about some stuff that I-64 Sports and Jamaar helping me with, as far as preps is concerned. We want to recognize some academics when it comes to this football thing. So, preps has decided to do all academic team this year. Okay. Jamaar helping me get that organized. Look like, we're going to do this celebration probably Super Bowl Saturday this year.
That's right.
All the schools will be notified. We take a nomination starting November the 3rd. And what's going to happen is, each team, each public school 757 is going to be 5-game participation for the player that they nominate, but that player has to have a core GPA of 3.0 or better.
Okay. So honor students only.
Yeah. So, they get on the field, play their 5 games.
Okay.
School get to nominate them.
Nice.
And we're gonna throw a little celebration for those players. They get the invite, and we're gonna make it happen.
So what made you come up with that idea?
The preps is all about, academics as well as the sports. So we want to start emphasizing more academics. I don't think that, in today's media world, we recognize academics enough when it comes to these players and the process that they put in, as well in the classroom, as well as on the field. Right. We know that they're going to be stars out there. We know it's going to be the stats, and we're going to fill up the stat sheet, like we like to say, but really, academics needs to be just as important. And I would think that more today that we would do something to show that if you got the smarts in the classroom as well as on the field, that you can get recognized. And I think sometimes those players get left out that are doing or excelling both ways, not just on the field, but in the classroom. We kind of leave that out. So, and it's one of those things where you get to recognize, the player from those schools. Right. And the school gets to recognize those players. Sometimes, they have that athlete that may not be top notch as far as top 20, top 30 player in the area, but they playing, they contributing to the team, they contributing to the community, and they have it in the classroom. Okay. They just don't get that recognition.
You got a location for that?
Yeah, we talking about Blue Magic Gaming right now.
21 Burgers. I'm sorry, it's 21 Burgers Gaming Lounge.
Okay. So yeah,
it's an updated name.
Yeah, so 21 Burgers Gaming Lounge.
Yes, sir.
Is where we're looking at having that celebration. Okay. So the kids will come out, have a good time, get a meal, get an award. Right. Talk to my preps board, and we got a special award that we're trying to craft up right now.
Okay.
So it's going to be something different. I know kids get trophies and medals and stuff all the time, but when you get something a little different that you can hang your hat on, as well as, on the academic side, as well as how well you play, what you contribute to your team. Right. It'd be something special.
But you guys, since Preps has came along, you guys have been on the frontier of ensuring that we take care of, the academic side of things, and that we reward those athletes that are going above and beyond on the academic side of things, with the Preps Player of the Year award that you guys have been doing. So I think you've always been at the forefront.
Yeah, we like I said, we're trying to expand, and I know, some of those other Player of the Year awards kind of limited in scope. Right. So we want to make sure we branched out a little bit further, try to touch everybody, as far as the public schools are concerned right now.
Nice.
So that's where we at, man.
Man, that's nice, man. Awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of that, and speaking of that, the 21 Burgers and I-64 Sports, everybody, we've had some private donors try to help us out from Virginia Beach all the way down to Florida.
Nice.
Business, Rich Boys Barbershop in Virginia Beach help us out. So, it's just not, preps in itself. We got some sponsors, that's trying to look out for these.
Make it more of a community event.
Yeah, the kids also. So
how important is it to show the kids that, that the community does support what they do?
I think it's very important, especially when you try to go into an establishment and these kids are going to an establishment that's supporting them and talking about, the academics and supporting them, all the way through. Yeah. It speaks volumes when the community does that. I know a lot of times people are giving, and sometimes those people aren't recognized. They don't see it maybe. Right. They're getting the benefits from it, but they don't know that such and such did something, that helped them along the way.
Because when you go to some of these smaller towns, like I've been in Fredericksburg. When I was in college, I used to ride through Fredericksburg a lot, going to DC from St. Paul's. And I used to see like in Fredericksburg, the Applebee's, they used to have like pictures of the high school kids up, and like I used to have signed pictures, and like they were really stars. The high school athletes, they were really stars. Right. But it also showed that communities, they supported them, and that made those kids feel big. And so I think it's great.
I think Applebee's on Kentsville still kind of got some of those older pictures up. I think Buffalo Wild Wings in the beach got some of that stuff kind of hanging up too, especially from some of the stars that have gone on to bigger and better things, out of high school. But the community, once you show it, I think they respect it, and then they come, and they turn around and maybe give back to the community because they saw what happened. I'm hoping that continues to go on.
Gotcha. So. Well, of course, this is another Friday night. Was Sunday, and we had a big game Friday night that I had a chance to check out. I actually checked out Lake Teller, which was our number 1 team in the I-64 sports poll. They visited Maury, which was our number 2 team. So it was our number 1 versus 2 matchup. It's game of the week, everybody's game of the week. Of course, Maury hadn't defeated Lake Teller since 2009. But of course, like we said in the past, this might be Maury year. Mm-hmm. Kind of proved it on Friday. It was a big win, 49-7. According to the newspaper, that was the largest defeat in Eastern District history for Lake Teller. So that's it wasn't that small, man. That was a big win for Moore. From what I got a chance to see, man, it just confirmed what I've already said previously about Keandre Lambert. That guy's next level.
Yeah. Yeah,
next level, man.
And I think we kind of talked, about the situation, from Coach McCain, to be over there, and I think that every time his offense lines up, and he's got that offense prepared for Lake Teller. In the past, it's just been one or two things that just don't go. The ball just don't bounce that his way.
Right. Even before Maury going to Norview,
it's just one or two things. So I think he's got a formula over there, prepared for that, for that defense. And stuff
it was amazing to see. I mean, you look at they finished with 49, but I saw for myself 6 touchdowns that were called back. Mm-hmm. You had 3 touchdowns called back on the first drive alone. So that's dominance. Right. That's really dominance, man. So when you look at Maury as one of the Region 5 contenders, one of the state contenders, I think you got to put those guys right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they had the pieces.
They had the pieces. Like I say, you saw with Keandre, who I think he finished with 3 touchdowns, but CJ Beasley, he had an amazing run first quarter. Probably maybe a SC top 10 worthy play the first quarter, man. And it was just, even the line was just such a great effort by Moore, just a great game. Had a lot of people online, social media, like, why didn't Lake Teller adjust? Because, I mean, you've been a coach a while. Lake Teller, they play that man-to-man that, really no safety help.
Right.
Lake Teller tried to adjust. They put a safety over the top. They had Malik Newton go back at safety, tried to adjust. Maury made another adjustment. Right. They took away the starting quarterback, put Keandre at quarterback, put CJ Beasley at quarterback, Cameron LeBourne at quarterback, and the speed, it just really made a difference.
Right.
Like I said, again, hats off to Coach McCain, big victory. One thing I do want to add, you had a lot of people saying, Maury turned the tide, took over the Eastern District with his win. In the past, we've seen Granby beat Lake Teller a few times. We've seen Norco beat Lake Teller a few times. So I don't think you can quite say is there any turning of the tide quite yet. I think it was a great win, but I think a turning of the tide, requires more than just 1 year.
Yeah, you got that consistency.
And you got to win. Lake Teller has won state titles, so it doesn't stop with one regular season win. You have to win. You have to win the state title.
Correct.
That's this is era.
Yeah. So that was this week. We're gonna get to this week. Okay. But in week 2, since we kind of on skip the show, missed a week or so. Week 2, you picked Lansdowne over Tallwood, and that was another. I don't know if the beach would say it's a shocker. I think the way the result, the Lake Teller Moore game from this week was, it was kind of a thing that opened my eyes. It looked like Lansdowne kind of bounced back from a week 1. Was it week 1 jitters? Yeah. So now it's like, okay, now Tallwood went in there and it was, 42, basically 42-0 on that one. So that one was, kind of shocking in week 2 to me.
Yeah. So now is it time to really look at how good Salem is? Because when you look at how big Salem beat Lansdowne week 1, So now is it kind of like, well, damn, how good is Salem?
I think now is going to be, from a standpoint of the beach. The beach always plays each other tough when you still got some rivalries out there. You still got some key games for Coach Wilson and the team out there. The Ocean Lakes game,
right?
The Bayside game. Those are always traditionally tough. And set the tone in the beach. So I think, the one game at a time, I look at it and see. I did go to the game this week. Saw some stuff, but I think until I physically can see it with my eyes, because I've been over there in those games, I think they're right where they're supposed to be now.
Yeah.
So once they get on the field with those two teams, and and then you still got Cox. I told you, I told you,
you did tell me. Right.
So you still got Cox. So those three teams, they still have to play.
Right.
And those are no slouch teams right now in the beach, and it's always tough.
Right. And like you mentioned earlier, Ocean Lakes actually still have to play Maury, which is that's going to be a great game. It's going to be another great game. So
and speaking of Salem, I think in week 2, Kalon Black.
Oh yeah.
They played Princess Anne. So Kalon Black, we had a kick. I think it was the opening kickoff or whatever, kick return, and then he scored some more on the ground.
Yeah.
He had 192 on the ground.
Yeah.
So
was that what your fantasy player?
No. Week 2, mine was Kai Hodge from Ocean Lakes.
Oh, okay.
He had 149. And 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
But I know your fantasy player had like 242.
Yeah, Rodney Hammond, Booker T. I think he went like 242.
242.
Yeah, 242, a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
But I just kind of figured with the matchup he had that he would be able to have a really great game. He's a great back.
Yeah.
Just another line. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. The other player I know you spoke of, before, we were talking about is Mr. Hill over there at Norview, and I seen him also, and it looks like every week he's proven to be, a key factor.
Cameron. Cameron. Cameron went here.
He's proven to be a big factor, with that speed. And
yes.
So
that's. But you remember when we kind of talked about this off air? You remember a few years ago, it wasn't the Eastern District that had a lot of the football talent, and I think now you're starting to see. I don't know if it's when we talk about shifts of talent. Eastern District has a lot of talent on the football side.
Yep.
Even losing a guy like Katron Allen, who's at IMG now, killing it.
Yep. I think he had like 176
at IMG as a sophomore. Yep. You look at him; he's supposed to be at Norview.
Right.
He led area in rushing last year as a freshman.
Right.
So the Eastern District, man, that's something I've gotten in debates with in the past. Is Eastern District has been a weak conference. Like you can't say that anymore.
Right. And that leads into the main topic for this week, where we were talking about player ratings and the star system.
Oh yeah.
When you talk about ESPN 300, 5-star this, 4-star that. I think this off season, like I call it my off season, but when I looked at some of the 2020 guys and what some of these big rating, recruiting services said about stars, I was disgusted. I'm just being honest. I was disgusted. Me and another coach that I coached with formerly had a frank conversation where a kid from this area did not play last year at all, not due to injury. So you're going from a freshman year of playing to a sophomore year no playing, going into their junior season, and this person was ranked top 50 in the area, right?
Right.
How is that
How does that
possible?
Right. How does that happen?
Right? That makes no sense. I got it. Potential is everything, but you didn't play.
Right.
And it wasn't due to injury, so I can understand the injury. Oh, I blew out my ACL, or I messed up my shoulder. But you didn't play.
Right.
You telling me you better than 50 players that played, that showed out?
Right. So is it that you don't like the rating system itself? Is that the issue?
Yeah, because I don't. I can't see a standard.
Right.
If I have a player of similar caliber that had stats that played, you're telling me that a player, like, I'm gonna put it out there again, no injury, coming back their junior year, yep, they good, they balling, they 4-star, they 5-star,
right?
No.
Right.
No.
What's the determination in the 5-star and the 4? Like, what's the separator?
I don't know.
Who? I think my thing. I've always said this. I don't think we question the ratings itself. I think it's more so we need to question the people behind the ratings. I think we need to question their credibility. Like, what have they played? And not saying that you have to be a former athlete to judge athletes, but if I'm looking at you and you look like you've never played a sport in a day of your life, or you can't say anything X and O's wise, but you're telling me this guy is a 5-star, you're the deciding factor whether this kid is a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. I think that's the underlying issue. Because I've been at those national camps on the basketball side where it's been, okay, this kid is from my state. So nobody from a different state is going to be ranked above this kid.
Right.
Because we have to make sure these kids keep coming to our camp.
Right.
So you talk about politics. Now, politics come into the equation.
Yeah, the like you said, I do think that you have to have some type of ranking system. But when we look at a 4 or 5-star, if you tell me a kid is a 4-star and they're playing a bunch of no stars, then they better be 4-star in that game.
Every game. You have to look. You can't tell me you're a 5-star because you're a 5-star in the summertime.
Right.
Without pads.
Right.
But when I see you with pads, you're hurt, or you can't dominate this quote unquote 1-star, this no-star athlete.
Right.
No, you have to show it every single time. But I think that what the star system also does is make the job easier for college coaches. Because now I can recruit. I can say, hey, I just signed all these 5-star kids.
Yeah, I agree on that level. But again, the way I was raised, the way I was coached, the way I've been coached, coaching is film don't lie.
Right, absolutely.
So you tell me you're a 4-star, you got a 3-star, and hypothetical situation, you got a 4-star cornerback and you got a 3-star wide receiver.
Right.
Or a 2-star wide receiver. That 4-star better dominate.
Right.
Or if the opposite team got a 4-star wide receiver, and I know coaches X and O's might scheme it up, but I would expect that 4-star to be matched up against that 4-star.
Right.
Some part of the game. Let's get it on.
Right.
Let's really see who got the goods.
Who's the real dog in that situation. Right. But at what point, because I've never really seen this, but at what point does a 5-star lose a star? Or is it like once you're a 5-star? Because you've seen 4-stars become 5-star, but I've never quite seen a 5-star lose a star and become a 4-star.
Yeah, I just don't think that's gonna happen.
Right.
Is it? Did you hurt the kid?
Right.
Yeah, you probably hurt him off the bat because you gave him 5 stars.
Right. Bingo. So now we're talking about all of a sudden he's overrated.
Right.
And I'll go back in the day. I'll talk about before I even got into this whole game, James McAdoo and Dorian Finney-Smith. Now, James McAdoo was a 5-star nationally his entire senior year. Anybody that watched basketball in Hampton Roads could tell you Dorian Finney-Smith was a better player out of those two guys. But then all of a sudden, when James McAdoo got to college and it became he was overrated. No, that was the player he was before. But you had people that would not take that. He was not a 5-star kid. He should have been a 3-4-star kid coming into college. Right. So that's the player that he was. And that's what he should have been ranked in high school. But you got some people, they sit at these camps all day and they because they can write, they take a lot of pictures, they do some video. Oh yeah, that kid's number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, but you got, all of a sudden Jamaar came. Well, but he played in all these camps, all these All-American camps in high school. Nobody saw that he was a good prospect in high school through all these camps, AAU and all this. All of a sudden, get to college. Oh, he come out of nowhere. How?
No, he was there the whole time.
He was there the whole time.
Yeah, and it's the other thing with the camp series when you talk about ratings and the star system. Of course, the media is a part of that. Right?
Absolutely.
So then you also have to understand where we're at with kids today. Right. The me generation is instant, right? So I can go to ESPN and see where am I ranked on ESPN 300?
Bingo.
Where am I at on such and such rating, right? So now is the pressure on? Am I living up to that? Because you just said, are they going to take a star away?
Right.
Probably not.
Right.
So if I can get there, I'm probably golden.
You're going to stay there. Right? You get there as a freshman, sophomore, you're going to stay there.
Right. I'm probably golden. So if I can get there, then the letters going to start coming in, right? Then the recruiter's going to start calling the house. Right. And all that good stuff, which is fine, right? But are you that player?
Right. Because who's going to be that scout that'd be like, you know what, he ain't a 5-star no more. I'm gonna take his star away. He a 4-star now. Right. Who's really going to be that scout that had the balls to be able to do that?
Nobody's going to do
that.
Right.
They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. It's a lot easier to give a guy a star than to take a star away.
Right. And I think, I don't recall, but I would believe, the bigger audience may not take a star away, but you might drop. Like I keep referring to ESPN 300, right? You might drop, but your stars ain't going away.
Right.
It's just somebody's now leaped ahead of you in the overall picture of things. So, because the season went on, you know, they played better competition. Maybe you did get hurt, so your production fell off. Right. But you're still there. And it's one of those things where I've had talks with coaches, like, the media has an impact on the kids. And some of these kids, that's the thing that's going to turn their life around. Right. Yeah. So we need to make sure we understand how we're judging a teenager at that point. Yeah. Right. They're not in college. They're not at the pros. Yeah. Right. So a teenager at that point, and what impact that decision that we make has on their life. Because
when you think about it, right, we heard, I was listening to Gilbert Arenas podcast earlier, man. He was talking about, he was interviewing a guy from Ball is Life, the Ball is Life founder. And he was like, what they really did, they created a sports center for high school athletes. He was like, as you think about it, we knew Vince Carter was nice in high school. We knew he was dunking on guys in high school, but nobody saw it. Like, we knew Michael Jordan got cut in varsity, but we like, damn, but what was the guy that he got? How good was the guy that beat out Michael Jordan? Like, but we don't have any film on that. So I think, like you say, it is kind of a chicken and egg situation. Like, it's providing a good service, but it's also, in turn, is creating a lot of false hopes for kids. So it's like, how do we balance that? How do we get kids to understand, like, okay, it's good you're getting attention early, but that's not the end all. That's not the end result of everything you want to do. And you got guys that can come out of nowhere and take that spot. Yeah. Any, it's a wide receiver from Ohio State. I can't think of his name. Starting wide receiver. I know he's number 17, but I heard a story yesterday. They were saying that they were recruiting a quarterback from another team, and he happened to just dominate the game. He got a scholarship from Ohio State, and now he's a starting wide receiver for Ohio State.
Yeah, and that's the way. And I think that's the way it should be when you talk about the landscape. Yes, I'm going to see X player, right? This player. But in that game that I was at as a recruiter, or a scout, I saw another player dominate. I got to take that back to my coach. Right. Yeah. Okay. Quarterback looked all right, but we need to check this play out right here.
When you were as a high school coach, did you ever had to like work overtime to convince the coach, like, even though this kid doesn't match up as a star system, like, he can play at the next level?
Play at the next level? I don't think, not in any situation that I was in. I think there's been some situations where there's some discussions about whether a kid should get on the field and stay on the field, especially when you talk about starters. I mean, if we want to say everybody, who starts and who doesn't, I think we've had some serious discussion about that. And it, to me, it's all about the process. Okay. If we're saying you got to work out, if we're saying you got to come to film study, if we're saying you got to be at practice and you got to do what you need to do, then I think you deserve to be on the field. Right. Can you ball? In some coaches' eyes, maybe not. Okay. But that's, in my eyes, is there somebody better than you that's been doing those things that as a coach you can say, we told you to come to practice. Why are you missing practice? We told you to come lift weights, right? Right. Why are you not lifting weights? Right. Do you remember your plays? You know what I'm saying? If we send you to play in and you run the wrong route or you do something that's not in that play, you're not doing your job. How come somebody else get on the field? How can you be on the field above somebody that's doing it? Right. So job. I think that's been a couple of discussions I've had, in high school, where I've been in high school. Right. But as far as playing on the next level, I had some discussions this weekend about some certain players with some family members about people that I know that I can see will be able to play on the next level. Right. I worry about the college decision of where they want to go to play. Is it about the big name school, or is it, am I going to be able to play what I want to play or contribute to the team and play somewhere else and not just ride a big name school, especially when the kids got the grades.
Because when you look at a lot of kids, and I had this discussion on Facebook, man, you talk about black athletes going to HBCUs. I was like, when you look at it, how many of the kids that go to the PWI, the big schools, how many of those kids stay at those schools? So why didn't they make the decision to go to the HBCUs or the smaller schools from the start? Because they're not thinking of, what's best for them. Right. A lot of times it's like, oh, I want to be on TV. I want to, all right, well, you're going to be full screen riding the bench on TV.
And I think that a lot of kids just don't have that frank conversation. It's always, hey, I'm getting recruited by, D1 university. like you said, they on TV, they on NBC, ABC every week. Right. The papers are writing about them.
Right.
So that's my chance.
Right. You see the Nike
gear,
yeah, all
that's my chance, right?
Gear,
I want to play in the NFL. That's my chance. If I go to this other school, my chances are slimmer.
Right.
But your chances are really slim anyway. Right. And the conversation that I actually had, with yesterday was, I would rather the kid make a decision based on what they want to do outside of football. What's my career path if I don't make it?
What's my major going to be?
Right. So why would I go to the engineering school if I don't want to be an engineer? Now, if they have my major, different story. But if they don't even have your major, then why are you going there? Right. Because chances are you're going to need that education to be successful. We hope you're going pro, but I just don't think that conversation ever really happens.
Gotcha.
And that's bad.
Gotcha.
Whether it's with a family member, whether it's with another coach, whether it's with, being frank with a recruiter, college coach, going to get a mentor. I just don't think that conversation happens.
That's good, man. Good point. So what I want to move on to, that's a great topic. That's a great topic. I think we stayed on that for a while. That's a great topic because I mean, that's always a topic of conversation. Like how much emphasis do we put on stars and ranking system? So that actually is a great segue into our next part of this podcast. I want to talk about our I-64 Sports, our team rankings. Last week we actually debuted our top 5 teams, which, like I said, Lake Taylor was number 1. We had Maury number 2. Salem was number 3. Ocean Lakes was number 4, Norcom was number 5. So it was a great debate. You got some teams missing. Oscar Smith was Indian River. And I've always said this, I don't give credit for, there's no such thing as a good loss to me. Like when we're talking about rankings, I don't give credit for losing. It's good that you schedule those tough games, like Oscar Smith's schedule, Highland Springs is going to pay off for later in the year. But we're talking about weekly rankings, team rankings. I mean, it has to affect you some way. So they weren't initially, those 2 teams weren't initially in our top 5 rankings. And I mean, man, I got 8 up. But that's the nature of the beast, right?
Bro,
that's
that
what we do.
mean you really gonna get 8 up this week. I'm interested
You ready?
to see it. Yeah,
You ready for the top 5?
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing this one.
So we're gonna start from the back. We're gonna start from 5. I got Indian River at number 5. So Indian River, they came back and they got a win over Kings Fork, 1-1 now. Wasn't a dominant win, but they kind of starting to right the ship. They have a tough game this week with Nansemond River, so. Hey, they got back in. They could be right back out. Okay. So they took number 5 spot. Okay. So that means Norcom is out of there. They lost Saturday. Hopewell. So 15 this week. Indian River at number 4. We got Ocean Lakes. Got Ocean Lakes at number 4. Like you said, they just been steady in the Beach District. Haven't taken any losses yet. So we got some tough games coming up. Of course, they got Maury coming up. Always got Salem there. You still got that tough Beach District. So number 4, we got Ocean Lakes. At number 3, I got Oscar Smith. So they came into the rankings this week. They had number 3, 76-0 over Lakeland. That pretty much speaks for itself. Of course, we know there was some kind of backstory to that game.
Okay.
On a personal
end.
On a personal end, business side of things. So, 76-0, that pretty much speaks for itself. So, got them slotted in there at number 3. Number 2, I got Salem, still undefeated, looking good. Salem's looking good. Right there at number 2. So, we know Lake Taylor ain't number 1, so that slid them out of the rankings. So, Lake Taylor's out of rankings. Norcom's out of the rankings. So we got a new number 1 team this week, the Maury Commodores. 2-0. They looking great, man. 59 points. 59 first game, 49 second game. So, hey, they're looking good. So that's our top team this week, 2-0. Just to run it back, we got Maury number 1, Salem number 2, Oscar Smith number 3, Ocean Lakes at number 4, Indian River at number 5. We had Lake Taylor drop out. We had Norcom drop out.
Okay.
What you think, Twan? Change up anything?
Number 5, but
number 5.
I guess we'll see after this week.
So you got you think somebody else should be in that slot?
Oh yeah.
On another school, school I want to give a shout out to Churchland. Churchland's they 3-0. That's 3-0. They didn't quite make it in our top 5. I think if I extended it out to 10, I think they would be somewhere in there.
Most definitely.
They'd be somewhere in there. But So that's my 5. So I kind of see where you're going at with our games of the week. We're going to our pick 'em, our weekly pick 'em contest.
So Jamaar is still up 2 games right now.
Okay.
He's really been killing me when we kind of split these beach games, and I'm supposed to be the beach expert probably. And he's killing me over
thinking
there.
too much.
Yeah, probably. So he's still up 2 games on me.
Well, we got a lot of tough ones this week. We got a lot of tough ones this week.
Yeah, so
and we actually missed the week. So I actually think missing the week might have saved me because I did pick Lake Tyler beat Moore. I'm a Lake Tyler grad, so I did pick Lake Tyler beat Moore. I would have lost that one. So for starters.
So we're gonna roll into it. We got Hampton versus Phoebus. Who you got?
I got Phoebus. I'm gonna go with Phoebus. Of course, that's a big rival on the peninsula. But I got Phoebus.
Yeah, that's somebody's got to take a loss by it. Well, Phoebus lost to Lake Teller, but Hampton was 3-0 right now.
Okay.
So I think I'm with you with Phoebus. Okay. I think it's time
Sounds
for that. Hickory versus Oscar Smith.
This might be another 70 to nothing. This might be Oscar Smith all the way.
Yeah, Smith. Me too.
But it's funny. I don't think people would know. Hickory is one of the last teams to beat Oscar Smith in the Southeastern District. It was like, 2012?
Yeah, it's been
it's been a long time.
Yeah. All right, here we go. One of the games of the week. Indian River versus Nasman River. Let me talk about something.
Okay.
I think these guys played twice last year.
Okay.
Pretty sure. I think once in the regular season, once in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Look like Nasman River only averaged about a touchdown.
Okay.
In those games, So I seen Nasman River play first game this year. Looked pretty impressive.
Right.
I think they made some adjustments out over there. I think Nasman River going to be Indian River. Mm-hmm.
Actually, someone on my Facebook, and I was talking about teams that should be ranked in the top 5 this week. They mentioned Nasman River as a state title contender. You've mentioned Nasman River along with Cox as teams we should watch out for. But I'm going to go with Indian River.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to go with Indian River. I think it'll be a great game. Like I said, one of our games of the week. Should be a good, tough one. River is not as good as they were last year, and they got some questions at quarterback. We'll see if he can. He's a young quarterback, so we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Running it down, Bethel versus Kickintan.
Man, I'm gonna go with Kickintan.
Okay, I got Bethel.
Okay, I don't really know much about either school, but I'm gonna go with Kickintan.
Okay,
I had an X.
All right, one of the games you mentioned already, Churchland versus Moore.
Churchland gonna take his first loss this week. Because Moore is rolling.
Moore
is rolling. So
I think Coach Dontrell Leonard over there and is got his work cut out for him this week.
I thought you were about to pick him.
And he gonna have him prepared, but I'm picking Moore.
Yeah, there you go. I know that's your boy.
Yeah. Grassfield versus Deep Creek.
Somebody told me I need to watch out for Grassfield. I don't know how true that is at all. I haven't seen Grassfield. Have you heard anything about them?
No. I know I take that back. The earlier in the spring, summer was a lot of talk about quarterbacks, and they normally do have some good quarterback play over there. But that's the only thing I heard.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going with Deep Creek in this one.
I got Deep Creek too.
Okay, that'll work.
One of your favorite schools is next, Great Bridge, but they got Western Branch over there this week, and I'm going with Western Branch.
You on Western Branch?
Yeah.
I'm a Great Bridge. I think Great Bridge can get their second win of the year. I think they put them at 2-1. So I'm going to go with Great Bridge.
Okay. In the Peninsula now, we got some Peninsula games coming up, Gloucester and Minchville.
Oh, Minchville.
I
don't know why. I don't know.
I got Minchville, too.
Okay.
I got Minchville,
Let's roll with that.
Denby and Heritage.
I'm going with Heritage. Even though they let me down a couple weeks ago, I'm going with Heritage.
Okay. Heritage also. Another key game in the Peninsula, Woodside versus Warwick. And I mind you that Warwick and Hampton played a good game this past week.
Okay.
I've talked about Woodside a couple times on the show. But it's Woodside versus Warwick in a key Peninsula matchup.
Okay. I got Woodside in that one.
Yep,
that's
who I'm going with. Southeastern District, Lakeland versus Kings Fork.
Hey, man, Lakeland 0-2. You going to go to 0-3 this week. I got Kings Fork.
Yeah, I got Kings Fork too.
God, come on, Lakeland. You got to do something.
All right. Bayside versus Kellam. Now, Kellam is coming off a bye. Bayside played Cox, and they lost to Cox. But the last 2 years in the Beach, that was the first game of the season.
Okay.
And something's going on here because those last two games, those guys put up 77 and 87 points combined. Of course, Tavion was over there.
Okay.
But again, to turn around and have a 20-7 game, something's kind of going on over there. Bayside versus Kellum. I think Bayside rebounds from the loss against Cox.
Yep.
Even though Kellum's coming off a bye week. I got Bayside.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got Bayside too.
Okay. Lansdowne versus Kentsville.
I got Lansdowne. I think Kentsville, even though I like the young talent over there, they ain't gonna be Lansdowne. I don't see them be Lansdowne.
Yeah, I think Lansdowne, again, I think this is 2 years in a row where they've kind of lost to Ocean Lakes. I think Ocean Lakes broke a streak over there.
Yep, it's second year.
But the defense, it looks like the defense is rebounded. I think it was like I said, 42-0. I think against Tallwood the week before,
right?
And then they only gave up. They actually gave up a touchdown because I think Ocean Lakes had a safety.
Okay.
Because I think the score was like 9-3.
Okay.
So it looks like Lansdowne defense is bounced back.
Coming around.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So I got Lansdowne also.
All right.
Ocean Lakes versus Princess Anne.
I got Ocean Lakes, but I think Princess Anne would play them tough. For some reason, I think it'd be a close game. I think Tony Grimes might be able to do something. Of course, I'm sure Ocean Lakes should be keying on them,
right?
Because they've been defensively, they've been pretty good, last couple of years. But I got Ocean Lakes.
Yeah, I don't think they can let the speed. If the speed gets loose over there, from what I've seen at the Lansdowne Ocean Lakes game, I don't know if Ocean Lakes can keep up if they let it get loose. But normally they're very sound over there, Ocean Lakes. I'm going with Ocean Lakes.
Yeah, they usually discipline over there, Coach Jones.
FC versus Cox.
I got Cox in this one. I think Cox is a team that I'm keeping an eye on, obviously, because you said something about them, and they haven't had any bad losses, and so I think they get another win this week. Yeah.
So I'm thinking Cox in this Beach District with what we've seen so far in those games, those matchups they've had. They've had the tough running of the schedule so far.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Cox too.
And Cox finds a way to stick around.
Oh yes,
they'll stick around.
Green Run versus Salem.
I got Salem. I think Salem looking good.
It looks like this past week, Kentsville had the lead. I was at the Salem game, and the announcers come over and talk about scores of the games, and everybody was ooh and ahs because Kentsville was ahead of Green Run, even though Green Run pulled it out. So I think I'm going with Salem this week.
Gotcha.
Also. Last game on our list, Lake Teller versus Wilson.
Man, I gotta think about this one. No, I'm just Lake Teller.
Lake Teller.
Lake Teller gonna bounce back. Wilson, this might get ugly for you. And shout out Coach Newbold. That's my guy. He's defensive coordinator at Wilson. This one might get ugly.
Okay. And it's that time again. It's that fantasy player of the week time.
Hey, to be real with you, I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't even really have one for this week because it was just so tough. But
I'm going first anyway.
Yeah, so you got it. Because I was going to say, now that I think about it, I think I got somebody now.
So I'm going to go with what you just said. I'm going with Malik Newton.
Oh, you told my God.
I'm going with Malik.
I was looking, because I'm thinking, I'm like, hold up. He's going to have a bounce back game.
Right.
All right, so you just made it kind of tough for me.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go with Kaylon Black. I don't think I picked him yet, have I?
No.
All right, I'm going to go with Kaylon Black. Salem.
Okay, so two running backs again this week.
I'm going to go with Kaylon Black.
Because
it's a lot of, tough games. I don't really see, Churston and Morey. I think a couple of those guys could get off, but I'm not sure. Indian River and Nansemond River, I think it would be tough. I don't really see any games where a player should do too much damage or, just outright have a standout game. Maybe Oscar Smith. Probably Oscar Smith, but they probably spread it out that game.
Right. So we got Malik Newton and Kaylon Black as fantasy players of the week this week. Anything else, Jamaar?
Going back to the rating system we were talking about, this is what I've been to add. I think a lot of that stuff also is now with the younger scouting services and things of that nature. I think it's clout chasing and clickbait. Excuse me. I think that's a lot of it's clout chasing and clickbait. I think because a lot of it is getting views to their website. So going back to your original topic, I don't think rating systems are necessarily bad because it does give us some kind of projections of players, but I think, like we say, just kind of going back. Let's question the credibility of the guys behind it. Let's really see who we're trusting and things of that nature. But
And I think if you go that route, preseason ratings, preseason rankings of players is all fine.
Right.
But unless you're adjusting it throughout the year, then it technically means nothing. I mean, because again, you do have some pressure that's being applied to those players. These are young teenagers where you say you're the number one athlete in Southampton Roads.
Right.
Now, what happens when you have a bad season?
Right.
You're not going to go back and say, hey, we had that guy number one and he had a horrible year. Right. The media is never going to do that because again, they're looking at it as a child.
Right.
So you have to, either comment on it during the year or at the end of the year say, hey, this was our top 50 at preseason. This is our top 50 at the end of the season.
Right.
That's how I feel about the situation.
Right.
Gotcha. If you that guy, if you're that player, then that player better show up. Every game.
Right.
Now if the coach, isn't doing the X's and O's to get you the ball or to put you in that position, that's a whole different story. Right. But if you out there and you playing and you're supposed to be the man, I want to see the man. When that competition is tough and when that competition is at a lower level.
Right.
So.
All right, man. That was a great show this week, man. Yeah. Great topic, man. As always, please check us out on YouTube. We're on YouTube. Please subscribe. Leave us a comment. We love comments. I do respond all the time. I'm Katie. I respond to you if you leave me a comment.
Let Jamaar respond.
I respond to you.
Yeah.
We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So just please make sure you check us out, man. And like us on Facebook. I'm sorry, I64 Sports is on Facebook. Guys on Twitter.
Yeah. We're on Twitter. But like Jamaar said, catch us on the YouTube, catch us on the podcast. And,
share it with your friends. Comment, please. If you have any topics you want us to discuss, please.
That's the one thing I had on Twitter. Like any topics that I know the coaches don't want to really get involved in who they are, but just send it in. It's just a topic. We'll talk about it,
man.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, I'm Jamaar Hawkins, I64 Sports.
And Antoine Corbin, 757 Championships.